Hello and welcome to this MVA course. Today we're going to be taking a look at the User Readiness Toolkit for Windows 8.1 update. One of the great pieces of feedback that you guys have been giving us over time has been that as you're rolling out Windows 8.1, you're finding that users need a little bit of extra readiness information in order to be able to help them get the most out of Windows 8.1 operating system, and also to stop them from bugging you quite so much with that little bit of user training. So we thought, what better could we do at Microsoft to help you out with that than find some marketing folks to pull together some really cool information to actually start to build a training toolkit that'll help you to deliver some training to your end users around that. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. With me, I've got Alicia Chen, who is the person who created the toolkit. And who better to actually explain the contents of this toolkit to us. Alicia, welcome. Do you want to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia Chen. I'm the product marketing manager on the Windows marketing team. And as Simon said, I'm very glad to be here to talk about the Windows 8.1 User Readiness Toolkit with you guys.
So, what are the objectives that you actually built the toolkit around? How does the toolkit come together?
So, like Simon said, since Windows 8 launch, we've constantly heard feedback from customers, especially the IT professionals, saying that they need more support and help to facilitate Windows 8.1 deployment. So the objective here is really we want to make sure that IT pros, they feel comfortable and they have all the toolkit that they need to enable Windows 8.1 deployment and user adoption. And more importantly, we want to make sure that they're exciting, they're fully aware of that Windows 8.1 is coming to their organization, so they're fully prepared for the big OS changes.
And we've all been there. I mean, most of us that are out there will actually know that lots of the users inside of our organisations are able to cope with change and cope with new devices, but some of them need a little bit of extra help, maybe need a little bit of extra excitement around the devices that they're going to be using. So I think this toolkit is a fantastic way of actually being able to do that.
Exactly. And I also want to talk about the strategy that we built the toolkit. So before we built this toolkit, we actually went out to the field to do some research about how users use Windows 8.1, especially what are the delighters and what are the roadblockers. And from there, we really understand that there is a learning path, meaning there's a stage-by-stage approach that the user can go through. So after they go through the process, they can really transform themselves from a starter, from beginner to a power user. So that's really what we mean to build this toolkit.
Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest things about the way that the toolkit comes together. As you say, it takes you from a complete beginner through to a power user by the end of the toolkit. And you might think out there that actually delighting your end users around being able to use their devices is not something that you need to do. But you know what? When people have more choice over their devices, they have more choice over who to go to in order to get their IT services, it really becomes important that you start to be able to just market the things that you're doing for them that little bit better. And it might be something that feels a little bit alien to lots of IT professionals out there, but it actually starts to become incredibly important.
Exactly. And secondly, we really want to make sure that the toolkit brings the business value because the target audiences here is our business customers, enterprise and SMB customers. So in the toolkit, we bring a lot of different business scenarios. For example, when you're in a conference room, you want to use Miracast to project your presentation, etc. And last but not least is we know that customers love to customize the toolkit. So that's why all of the components in the toolkit, they're editable, they're customizable. So customers, they can put their logos or whatever they want to put, like the rollout dates of the Windows 8.1 operating system on the toolkit so that people can feel that, okay, this is exactly for me.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I used to do inside of an organisation that I work for. One of the key things that we had thousands of employees, so we had to take user training really seriously. We had no budget to do that. So what we were actually able to do was find some of the folks inside of our organisation that had various bits of marketing or design experience, and they could take some of our materials, which were not particularly beautiful at the time, maybe just like a little piece of A4 paper, and actually customise them and make them something that people wanted to read rather than just discard in the trash at the end of the day. So it's kind of, I love the fact that we can, we have this toolkit which goes from SMB, who, you're small business, you might not need to or want to spend any time or money on customising, up to large enterprises where actually you can go and, as part of this toolkit, there's items that include files that can be changed with Adobe InDesign. So you can actually get your company's graphic artists to work on that kind of stuff if you have them, or go and find an agency to help you if you don't. So what are we going to cover throughout the rest of the course? We're going to go through each of the individual items inside of the course, aren't we?
Yes. So let's get started.
Yeah. So the just to very quickly run you through these, the kit consists of a tip sheet, which again can be heavily customized, a bunch of email templates, which actually that sounds like a really tiny little thing, these email templates, but they are really neat, and we'll have a look at how they come together. It's not just a standard little email that you might send out to somebody. It's actually got lots and lots of creativity in there to make it something that they're going to want to actually read, which I think is kind of the key thing. There's also those posters and flyers that you can place around various areas. And finally, probably the last two things, which I think are really great, the in-house trainer toolkit. It's very, very tricky as a trainer inside of a company to come up with information which is exactly what you need for this kind of thing. So having that trainer toolkit ready to go, again, customizable, really cool. Or maybe you just want to be able to play those videos for people inside of your organisation. Maybe put them onto your intranet site so that they have access to use them at any point in time. So we're going to go through all of those particular items through the rest of this course. It's going to be quite a quick, fast-paced course. Each module will be relatively short so that we can maximise your time. Please come back and watch each of those modules as we go through them.